I talked about some goals that I had in my last video of getting the apartment put together and working on wedding planning. I'm also trying to progress in my workouts because my bachelorette trip is in 3 weeks. Wedding is in 3 months, less than 3 months. So that's where we're at. But I look kind of busted right now. But I decided I would document my last day before I'm back at work. We've been off this whole week. And there has been some relaxing parts to being off work, but it's mainly been moving and cleaning and just kind of getting my life in order. Our whole kitchen needs to be like deep cleaned, and then also we like loaded up our dishwasher. Apparently our dishwasher doesn't work. I don't really know all that, we're waiting for maintenance, but it's like I had so many dishes from hosting people on the 4th, and then all the dishes that were in the dishwasher, I didn't just want them sitting there getting gross, so then I had to hand wash all of those. That took forever, and then we had like 4 or 5 boxes left to unpack, so I got all of that unpacked. First things first, it's like, I don't know, 10:30 right now, so I'm going to go to the gym and do my day 3 of the wedding shred. Then I'm going to, I have lots of wedding stuff I need to work on. Like I need to be doing that for at least like 3 hours today. And then there are other parts of the apartment that I do want to deep clean. I feel like for the most part we got everything to find a home and have a place, but we still are needing to wipe everything down and like really deep clean. And of course Love Island's on at 8, so I need to basically have everything done and sat at 8 to watch Love Island. Alright guys, it's been a hot minute since I checked in, but my last couple hours have actually just been cooking and meal prepping, and then I hung out with Taylor for a bit before he left for work. I don't even remember where he left off, but I did do a crock pot meal. I just did ground beef, but I did HEB brisket seasoning on it. Very good. Then I diced up some sweet potatoes, and I put a ton of seasonings on those, as you guys could see, and like mixed it with avocado oil. But the main things I think stick out with it are like the chili powder and the cinnamon, and it made a good like spicy sweet thing. So yeah, I roasted those in the oven for a good 40 minutes, made some brown rice. Then I combined all 3 of those, the rice, the brisket, seasoned ground beef, and the sweet potatoes, into a bowl and put some hot sauce on top of it. It was so good, like the mix of salty with sweet and spicy. I'm kind of tired of being in the kitchen, so I'm gonna go do different errands, come back and clean this up. But oh, the other thing I did do is go through everything else that hasn't been sorted through in the apartment and figured out what needs to go to storage and what needs to go to Goodwill. So that's what I'm gonna go do now, is drop those off. I also do have laundry going as well. So before I go to the Goodwill drop off and the storage unit, I want to just make some matcha real quick. It's really not hard to make a matcha latte, but I do get questions a lot about how I make mine, so I'll just show you guys real quick. First things first is you're gonna want some hot water. So I'm just gonna add some water in this kettle. You really don't need a lot. I'll show you guys the matcha I use, but the matcha does tell you exact measurements of the water to use with it. I personally just eyeball it. Really, you just need the hot water because the matcha comes in a sweetened powder form. You need the hot water to kind of mix it in there and get the consistency to change. So my powder actually stays in the fridge. Once you take off the seal to it, it stays fresher in the fridge. They have, this is my all-time favorite. I've tried different matcha powders, but this one remains my favorite. I've used this, I think, since college, so like 5 or 6 years now. This is my go-to brand because they do sweeten it. I think in 1 scoop, 9 grams of sugar. I also do 2 scoops just to give it a little more flavor, but also because 1 scoop, I learned this the hard way. I went a whole busy season trying to switch to matcha instead of coffee and energy drinks to be healthier, and I was so tired all the time, so I was already running on very little sleep. And then I learned, like towards the end of busy season, like I finally went and read here, and it says caffeine per serving, which is a scoop, is 20 to 30 milligrams of caffeine, which is about 1/3 a cup of coffee. And I was like, no wonder I'm so tired. I should have been having like 3 or 4 of these a day. But anyways, so for that reason, just to have a little more flavor and to have more than just 20 grams of caffeine, I do 2 scoops of this now. But in theory, 1 scoop is 1 serving, and I get this big tub because I know I'll use it and get through it fast. So this is like $45 on Amazon, but they do have like smaller ones that just come in a package, and those, like that's way more affordable. So if you wanted to try it out and just try a smaller package first instead of spending $45 on a big tub. And then I saw the brand actually came out with individual packages of the matcha as well, like to go. So just did my 2 scoops. You can see here, like eyeball it. I put like maybe that much. The next thing I do is I have a little milk frother that I actually just use to blend my stuff. But before I got this, I just used like a spoon or a straw, which isn't terrible. Like, so yeah, I just mix this up a bit just so I feel like the powder is getting to dissolve in the water. Then the next thing that I do is I add some ice cubes because I prefer mine to be iced. What we're working with now after it's all blended. We got whole milk right now, but I actually prefer to do almond milk, but I'm just out of that. Honestly, all-time best if you want to spend the money is coconut milk because that's just like the sweetest. It gives it the most flavor. Then I just eyeball that to the top. Then I just go in with my straw. Mix all of that up. This thing is slowly sliding further and further down. There she is, all ready. And taste test is good. This has actually been linked in my Amazon storefront for years and years. Highly recommend. And this does have 100 servings. So in theory, if you only had 1 a day, did 1 scoop a day, this will last you for 100 days for $45. Even with me doing double scoops, that gives me 50. So that's close to 2 months of caffeine versus me, you know, going to Starbucks or whatnot. So I like it. Now I'm going to load up my wagon with all of the donation stuff and things I need to go to the storage, and go ahead and do that because I'm feeling pretty tired and I really don't feel like leaving the apartment. So I know I gotta power through and just go get it done. All right, that needs to go to the trash. Those boxes. I don't even know if this thing can fit in here, but I need it to because I do not want to carry it. So, oh God. Heck yeah, that's going to storage. So is this. This is like a carpet cleaner thing, which I do really like it, but we don't have any carpets in the apartment, whereas we did have carpet in the house. So in the chance we need it for like rugs or whatnot, we can just go grab it. But I do highly recommend this. I really, really like it, and I'm glad we invested in it. And you know, I'm sure Taylor's a big fan of carpet, so I'm sure when we actually buy a house in the near future, he'll want carpet in that house. So I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is all donation stuff. And then I have more stuff in the car that I've already piled in, like our old rug to donate, and a box of books from Taylor's childhood that are going in storage. So I need to go get rid of this stuff. Let's see if I can actually, ooh. Hey, it's kind of working. I think I could at least get down the haul with this bad boy to my car. For sure. I think all this lighting behind me is not great for this clip, but I am back from running all those errands, and boy oh boy. Alright, dishes are all done, but one thing I want to do before, it's funky shaped, but one thing I want to do before I wipe down all the counters is cut this pineapple, because I have a feeling it's going to get juice and stuff everywhere, so just want to go ahead and do that real quick. HEB has some of the best produce. So good. Like their fruit selection is unreal. And I had some tomato and cucumbers and chicken and rice bowl I made yesterday. And like the tomatoes and cucumbers were so fresh. Random party napkins that are left over from like old parties we had at the house, and so I'm trying to get us to go through them, so I'm just gonna use these. Hopefully this is the last few and I can use them up in our cleaning and then I'll be good. But shout out to my friend Max, because he actually got me years ago a bunch of reusable towels. So usually I like to spray stuff and clean with these, and I can just wash them. I have just a little bit left of the Method all-purpose cleaner, so that's what I'm gonna use for now.